Seems as though every day we find out the Fed has either printed another few $100 billion or bailed out another bad company, foreign or domestic. In a new film called The American Dream, my next guest accuses the Fed of perpetrating the biggest heist ever. Watch.
What in the hell is that? That is how our government now must pay back these debts to the Fed. Your taxes did not go to your government. They don't? It's the greatest theft in human history.
It's the greatest theft in human history. Joining us now, the director of this great film, Tad Lumpkin. Tad, welcome to Freedom Watch. Tell us about this movie. Tell us how and why you use cartoon characters to explain something to the American public that they finally seem interested in, the dangers of the Federal Reserve.
Well, we wanted to tell this story about the Federal Reserve because we thought that it was something that was vastly important to everybody's lives because money is the basis for economic transactions. So most people have no idea really how money's created or really what the foundational principles for money is. And so knowing that was a key issue and feeling really passionate about that, we looked around and everything that we found was largely in the form of an academic economics-based approach that I don't think that, you know, most people, economics is initially a huge passion of theirs where they'll read, you know, books on Keynesian economics and the Federal Reserve and money creation. So feeling impassioned about it, you know, we kind of thought, well, what if we can create something that's entertaining, simple, and fun that explains all these really complicated issues, but in a way that, you know, the average person is going to want to sit down and see, and then at the end, hopefully be emotionally responsive and invigorated to want to learn more and to see how impactful an issue this is.
Let me ask you a little bit about you. I mean, you're a filmmaker. You're in Los Angeles, California, not exactly the hot spot for libertarians and free marketers in the United States of America. So how do you interact with the rest of your industry? Here you are using something as basic as cartoons to explain the road to serfdom, how the Federal Reserve has stolen our wealth. How does this resonate with the rest of your industry?
Well, you know, actually, Judge, we've shown it to a huge cross-section of people out here who are liberals, conservatives, Democrats, Republicans, libertarians. And I got to say that the response has been overwhelmingly positive across all of those. And it just goes to show you that the message of liberty and truth and freedom is one that's uniting. And, you know, the reason that we made this in the cartoon form was to kind of bring people in sort of a neutral setting, because when you're looking at a cartoon, it's sort of agendaless. Yeah. They sit down with sort of a neutral setting. And people watched it with that attitude going in, and everybody came out and said, that's how it works. And
right, I want to play another clip, Tad. In this next clip, you have President Andrew Jackson letting us know what he thinks of what was then the Federal Reserve Bank.
President Andrew Jackson.
You are a den of vipers and thieves. I intend to rout you out. Then by the eternal God, I will rout you out.
After surviving an assassination attempt, Jackson finally defeated the bank in 1836. When asked what was the greatest accomplishment in his life, Old Hickory replied,
I killed the bank.
His greatest accomplishment, he did kill the bank. That is a beautiful way to explain what Andy Jackson did.
Yes, well, we thought that, you know, he showed a lot of fortitude. It was not easy for him to end that bank. And he had a vast amount of opposition within his own, you know, within his own government from both parties, and went through multiple secretaries of Treasury, you know, before he could kill the bank.
All right, so you have history, you have politics, and you have economics in this wonderful cartoon. Tad Lumpkin, thank you very much for joining us.